Welcome back. You're watching us here on this Newsmaker, special Newsmaker conversation with the MD CEO of Nestle India, Suresh Narayan. The numbers that came by, they were better than what the street was anticipating on a high base in a time when demand is actually slowing down. You guys went ahead and did better than the industry, 9% revenue growth. But going forward, you are looking at a high base. Prices are, you've historically done 7 to 8% volume growth with about 2 to 3% price growth. What can we expect over the next couple of years in terms of demand? If you could, speak about the near term, midterm.
Look, I think, the results for the quarter with a 9% sales growth brings with it about 4 to 5% volume growth. So it is lower than the previous average that we had of 7 to 8% growth, but we are coming back in terms of volume growth. I think the focus is really to try and see how we can build back the volume growth as we move forward. The strategies in place in terms of both the category brand level and the geographic penetration are catering towards that. Now, there are near-term headwinds of food inflation. I think coffee and cocoa are two clear examples. One hopes that the milk and the wheat prices remain relatively stable so that we are able to keep stability of the value delivery in order to continue the path of growth. So that's where we are. And as you know, the strategy is to sustain penetration-led volume growth. Therefore, there is a focus on generating the relevant volumes as well.
There are concerns with regards to the margins going forward, largely because of the issues that you spoke about, higher coffee prices, higher cocoa prices. Is the best of gross margins behind the company for the near term, given the inflationary issues that we're seeing? Can we say that?
Look, I think Mangalam, the way I always suggested investors to look at Nestle India is to look at us in a band of growth, which is 10 to 11%. And a band of operating margins between 20 and 22%. I think the environment around us is too volatile for us to have definitive predictions on where we will land each quarter. Some quarters will be a little bit longer, some quarters will be a little bit shorter. But on average, if you measure the operating margin of the company, it will be between the 20 and 22% levels. And going forward, the reason why this becomes more important is even though my entry into pet care, into Nespresso, and into health sciences with a joint venture with Dr. Reddy's are margin accretive, but they will need to be fueled and funded, which means that some of what the core category makes would need to be skinned off and put into the new categories in order to sustain growth. So therefore, I think the band concept is a much better concept, looking at a company which is not only growing in core categories, but adding new categories which need investment. It makes much more sense to look at it that way than pegging absolute margin deliveries each quarter.
All right. In light of this, would there be any reconsideration for the increase in royalty? I mean, the street would have liked it to happen at a time when the margins were a little more benign, or the input environment was a little more benign, and that could allow to increase in the margins. Would that be a thought, or this is just ludicrous?
No, what we would say that the ask is fundamentally 15 basis points each year for 5 years. And certainly the margin evolution of the new categories that we are adding and what we are capable of doing in our existing categories is more than that. So therefore, it is for the help and support. I mean, for example, in health sciences, we need support now. It's not going to be a unidimensional street of just a joint venture. There will be support from the group on that. Nespresso will be a strong support from the group in order to make it happen. Pet care will be a strong support from the group to make it happen. So all of this will come in with the heft of the parent in terms of technology and competence and infrastructure. And for that, I think the royalty increase that is being looked at is relatively modest.
All right, so that explains one of the concerns of the street. On the JV that you had on nutraceuticals with Dr. Reddy's, just wanted to understand what is the revenue potential of this business by when? You said it would be margin accretive. If you could give us a sense of the scalability here.
This business should at least be in combined terms, 1,500 crore business in the next couple of years. So that's the expectation that we have got. I think Dr. Reddy's brings the channel heft. I think a great deal of experience, expertise, and wisdom in the pharma space. Some very strong brands as well. Nestle has also got a strong roster of brands and competence in consumer-led marketing, which is something that Dr. Reddy's would also find useful for itself. So it's a kind of a marriage made between two cultural and two performance equals, which really we look forward to.
What would be the growth rate after this 1,000 to 1,500 crores that you would once get in a couple of years? And when you say it's margin accretive, what band would the margin be here?
Well, it's I think these are early days. Let's see how the business evolves, but it will be accretive to the core business of the company.
Nespresso, I'm excited about this. I mean, a lot of Indians are very excited about this. The ones who've tried the product swear by its quality. So two questions here. What's the pricing of Nespresso likely to be in India versus the globe? Will there be any compromises on quality as compared to what they've experienced in the globe? And what could be the revenue, potential revenue from a business like this?
Look, I think again, revenue, the first couple of years, I would say at least the first 5 years will be a lot of seeding activity. So it will not be revenue that will be significant to move the needle as far as the company is concerned. There is no question of any compromise on quality. We don't do it. And there is no question of any compromise on the premium most coffee that we have got. The imports will be from Switzerland. Switzerland is the main source for Nespresso capsules. And the machines as well will come from Switzerland. The pricing will be competitive. I don't think there is any need for us to look beyond our nose to see that there are capsules coming in from Dubai, coming in from Singapore, coming in from the organized trade and from the grey market as well. So I think we are in business to be in business, and appropriate pricing will be worked through. And I think since we are interested in the long-term evolution of premium coffees, I think the company also has the wherewithal to invest in this for an extended period of time.
Right. Mr. Narayan, final question to you then. When you joined Nestle India as its leader, you were in the midst of a crisis. From there, you reached the milestone of 10,000 crores on an annual basis when it came to numbers. Almost 10 years later, you are staring at nearly 20,000 crores in terms of annual revenues, and also a semi-crisis, if one can call it. So, the concern then is Mr. Narayanan going to extend his stay beyond July 2025, or is it time for you to go to the teaching thing that you keep speaking about every time?
Let's cross the bridge when we come to it. I mean, as of now, I'm very much the chairman and managing director of this company. Yes, I am battle scarred. I think I've had the I don't know whether the experience or the privilege or whatever you call it, of going through different crises, from the Maggie crisis to all the ones in interim, including COVID. I think what I'm most heartened by is the trust and confidence that I've received from everyone across the environment, including your listeners. I myself have always believed in being upfront as a leader. I have to take the bullets when they happen. So therefore, I am talking to you today, and I'm not waiting for something else to reach out to me to do it. I put things as well as I can understand, as simply and as cogently and as transparently and as sincerely as I can. And I believe that respect, dignity and trust comes over a period of time. And I've spent enough time in the trenches to ask you for 5% of that. Thank you.
Well, you call yourself battle scarred. I would say you're battle toughened. Thank you so much for taking all our questions. Wish you good luck for your tenure now, and if at all beyond July 2025 as well. And keep speaking to us and keep taking our questions head on as problems come by. We hope that not a lot of problems come by. Thank you. Always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Mangalam. Great speaking to you. Thank you.